Yo, what is up guys, it's me, That One Weeb here, back with part 4 for What If Naruto Had Devil Fruits. Not the blonde-haired kid, not the Uzumaki, no. The series itself, Naruto, having the Devil Fruits from One Piece. If you guys have not seen this before and have been recommended to me by YouTube, thank you for not clicking off after, seeing it had part 4 on it. And if you want to actually get caught up on this interesting story, go up to the top upper right hand corner of your screen and you will find a playlist I've kindly linked for you, so you can go and watch all prior 3 parts and catch up. There's not too much to digest, and seeing the parts get good numbers makes me want to do the full story as quickly as possible. So if you could go back and watch those, I'd really appreciate it. And let's begin with where we left off last time with part 3. Which was the end of the second phase of the tuning exams, and a stretchy arm of a white-haired weirdo grabbing Naruto and pulling him back behind a fence because he was busy trying to perv on some women. Naruto would be weirded out by this guy's weird body, and before he could say something, he'd remember that guy that Kakashi had turned into back in the Land of Waves, saying this was one of his strongest transformations. Wait, does that mean this guy's... Naruto would turn looking at the man, seeing his love-sickened face and the lust pouring out of him. He would immediately change his mind. No, there's no way this guy can be one of those legendary Sannin, like that snake dude. He's probably someone who just looks like him, and has long, stretchy... Oh my god, it's him. And with that, Jiraiya would disappear, seemingly. The women who were in the bathhouse would scream seeing Naruto standing behind the hole in the wall. Naruto would have a look of fear and panic on his face, turning and running up the hill as he tries and chases after that white-haired guy who had just gotten him in trouble. Naruto would successfully chase down Jiraiya, yelling at him and asking what the heck that was all about, saying he left him behind back there to die. Jiraiya would whistle poorly, saying he didn't know that, with Naruto calling him a bad liar and pointing at him. Jiraiya would say, "Come on kid, don't be mad at me. I was trying to escape with my skin on my neck, you know?" Did this guy just steal my catchphrase? You know? Huh? At this point, Naruto would jump on Jiraiya, pulling his cheeks as he stretches them super far, saying that, well, he had heard from his sensei Kakashi that there was a legendary Sannin who had the ability to stretch like rubber. Jiraiya would try to talk. Yeah, that's me alright. Naruto would let go of his face, smacking it back into place from the stretching, as Jiraiya would shake his head, pushing Naruto off of him as he stands back up stretching. Jiraiya would see a hawk soaring overhead, looking back down to Naruto, and saying, "Fine, I guess I can train you. You did endure some suffering for me after all. And it was some valuable resources for my new book." Naruto would be ecstatic, finally finding someone who could be somewhat interesting to actually train him, and not abandon him like Kakashi had to go off with Sasuke and train his Devil Fruit abilities for the next month. Essentially, Naruto would get Jiraiya to agree to train him, with the two heading out and Jiraiya deciding what he wants to teach Naruto first. I guess I'd say, let's see what you got first, kid. Come here, bring it. You just want me to fight you? Jiraiya would nod, saying, let's see what you can do. Naruto would run, throwing a punch with his battle scream, and the blunt damage would do nothing. Jiraiya would put a hand on his eyes, laughing, saying, that's not going to do anything to me. Remember, I'm made of rubber. Naruto's fist would sink into Jiraiya's abs as Jiraiya would simply stretch upwards, his body bouncing back and pushing Naruto to the ground. Gah, that's not fair. I know that I would have done some damage if I had that fox's stupid power. Fox, huh? Oh, you must mean the nine-tailed fox, huh? What was your last name again? I told you, my name's Naruto Uzumaki. How many times do you need me to say it, huh? You know? Oh yeah, right, I forgot. Jiraiya would laugh, saying, let me show you a real punch. Jiraiya would throw his hand back, a stretching sound being made, as he then throws a punch, saying, Gomu Gomu no! Toad tongue! Much like how a toad's tongue will extend to grab a fly, Jiraiya's fist would move forward at a resounding speed from the pullback, using the power of the Gomu Gomu no Mi fruit to mimic the properties of what one of Luffy's pistols would look like. And that's Jiraiya's toad tongue. The blow would slam into Naruto, sending him sprawling as he yells in pain through several bushes, with Jiraiya not even really throwing that much power into it. They would fight all day, exhausting Naruto, and to the point where Jiraiya would be suitably pleased. Why are you making me do this? Condom Sage. Did you just call me a condom sage? That's a new one. I've never been called that. That's a new one. I'm gonna have to write that down. Anyway, no. I'm the Toad Sage of Mount Miyaboku. That's where I was trained to master my devil fruit. The Gomu Gomu no Mi. Now then, I guess now that your chakra's out, I can finally do what I wanted to do all along. With your stamina being so low, it's time to see what that fox can really do. Jiraiya would stretch his arm, grabbing Naruto and throwing him into the ravine. Naruto would scream with tears coming out of his eyes. Am I gonna die? We can see the orange fox's eye not wishing to be eradicated inside this boy, as Naruto would feel the power flowing into his body of the Nine Tails. As Naruto's about to slam into the ground and being squished into a pancake, Naruto would use both of his hands, stretching them out as he turns his fingers into a claw-like shape, ripping through the air, as he'd actually slow down mid-air as he starts vibrating in the air. The Gura-Gura no Mi controlling vibrations as he is cracking quakes through the air. Naruto would have his muscles straining as he's shocked that he's floating. Naruto would pull his hands together, making the crack rip through the air as the ravine itself would start getting pulled together. Naruto would then stick his feet out, now finally catching both sides of the ravine and just shimmying his way back out, with the Gura-Gura no Mi deactivating as he escapes. I knew that old fox wouldn't let you go down so easily. You tried to kill me. Huh? What? No, I didn't. Remember, I'm made of rubber. If you were about to hit the bottom, I was gonna grab you and pull you back up. What, are you stupid or something? You think I enjoy throwing kids into ravines on my off days? So naive. Especially from me, the great sage of Mount Miyaboku, Jiraiya. Anyway, the real point of doing that was to show you that when you run out of your physical power and you feel like you're going to fall down to your lowest, and you feel like you have no energy left, that's when you'll be able to freely access that power. Inside all of our bodies, chakra flows. It's the energy of life after all. But when yours is flowing, you're naturally blocking that Nine Tails' energy from flowing into you. That's the kind of seal the 4th Hokage made when he sealed that fox inside of you. So naturally, if there's no energy blocking it from your natural life force, that energy can slip through a little bit, letting you harness the power of the world-destroying monster itself. Do you know why all of the continents are connected by land? At least all of those that we've explored? Why? Naruto would say. Jiraiya would smirk. Well, legend has it that the Nine Tails, several hundred years ago, using the power of that devil fruit, moved the entire islands all from around the world and created this continent himself. I don't know if it's actually true or not, but it's a pretty interesting story if you ask me. You hear that, kid? If you can master that power, you'll be strong enough to tear this whole world apart. Naruto has stars in his eyes saying, Do you think I could even become the Hokage? Huh? Hokage? Jiraiya picking a finger in his nose. That job's so lame. Why would you want to take that job? I was thinking more like you could make a construction company, and if they don't pay you, you could just rip their buildings down. Doesn't that sound fun? Naruto's teeth would hit the ground. No! Fine. Suit yourself. If you want to be the Hokage, go ahead. I would personally never want that job. After watching Naruto fight for a while, he would realize something. That style of martial arts would be perfect for him. And so 1 month would pass. In fact, it would pass so quickly that Jiraiya and Naruto would be late, with Jiraiya telling Naruto to get somewhere to be, sending him off as Jiraiya runs out of the village off to his next adventure, and wishing him good luck at the Chunin exams. Naruto with running would make it just in time, breathing heavily as he enters the stadium, with his fight against Neji having been decided. The crowd would say, oh, that sucks for that kid, as they had already expected the Hyuga child to win, having been gifted an advantage over Naruto from birth, as Neji would see it with him being a Hyuga and this kid being a nobody. He would think until he remembered when he had split the entire arena in half and almost killed him. Naruto would get a chance to breathe with Hinata cheering him on, telling him that Sasuke and Master Kakashi haven't arrived yet. Naruto would ask Hinata how she's doing, how she has been since the hospital, telling her that he's going to win this match for her for sure. Hinata would blush, telling him not to overdo it, as Naruto waves to Hinata, saying he's going to get a win for Team 7. When Naruto steps into the arena, most of the crowd would have no confidence in him at all, whatsoever. Neji would smirk, scoffing and saying that you would have been better off running away. With my ability, I'll shut all of your veins down in no time. No chakra will be able to flow through your body. In fact, none of your attacks will even be able to reach me. So come on, let me show you what the true heir of the Hyuga clan looks like. What destiny robbed from me. Naruto's eyes would narrow, telling Neji that he only has himself to blame for being so negative, asking what good it does. If you really respected Hinata, with destiny making her your superior, then why did you fight her like that, huh? You wanted to change something, didn't you? And you thought getting your anger out on Hinata would do the trick, huh? Neji's eye would twitch, saying, "Shut up, you don't know anything! You know nothing about being branded with a mark that sets you apart from everyone else." Naruto would grit his teeth as a shadow of a fox would emerge over him. The memories of himself as a child covering him as he says, "I know exactly how that feels." Naruto would run towards Neji, moving much faster than he had been able to move previously, back during the last phase of the tuning exams. Probably from all the physical training he'd been doing for that month. Neji would easily dodge around his attacks, hitting several of Naruto's chakra points. "No, I can't go down without giving it a try." With Neji activating his Byakugan, he would see a pulse of chakra through Naruto's right arm. What is that? It wasn't a devil fruit ability. Those look different when they transform or do anything with their power. No, this was some sort of physical technique. Neji would start spinning, showing off his ultimate defense of the rotation. Naruto would yell out, "Chew on this!" Naruto would show off his Toad style, Hosoken arts, a technique that Jiraiya had spent 1 month grueling into him, allowing him to control vibrations around his body. Naruto hadn't fully mastered it yet, but he'd gotten good enough to use it to where he can control vibrations around his kicks. Naruto would move his right leg up after feinting that punch, slamming it down on Neji as reverberations would vibrate through the air. Landing on Neji's arm while it was spinning, Neji would get pulled out of the rotation, vibrating and shaking like a top as he crumbles to the ground, his fist being trapped in the earth and Naruto's kick having landed. People in the crowd would recognize it. Toad style. This is a real thing, by the way. Toad style is an actual kung fu technique in real life, using a lot of jumps, kicks, and lunges, and that's what Jiraiya would have taught Naruto, with the Hosoken bit being added from One Piece, which is a technique that Chinjao can use, and it is a technique that allows someone to use vibrations through their attacks, which is the perfect complementary ability for martial arts for Naruto to use in combination with the Gura-Gura no Mi, making his vibrations reverberate and be even more powerful if he can activate them. Neji would get up, pulling his hand out, and Naruto would wince, realizing that he hadn't landed it perfectly. With this style of combat, you need to land your attacks at the moment of your leg vibrating, and after you land, Naruto would feel dizzy. "I haven't mastered it yet." And even so, Hosoken has put Naruto on a different level than he was a month ago, and Jiraiya being one of the only Toad sages and the only people who can teach him, aside from like the 3rd Hokage or any of the Hokage scrolls which have records of it, Naruto would be a unique fighter for Neji, with him able to essentially have a weaker version of his Devil Fruit through his Toad-style Hosoken arts. Naruto's only currently able to use the Hosoken part of the Toad-style combat style in his legs, but he still learned the other techniques for his fists, he's just not very good at using them yet, since Toad style relies mostly on kicks and speed. So Naruto would bend his knees, leaping off the ground and lunging at Neji at a fast speed. Neji would take this opportunity to uppercut Naruto using his 2 fingers as he pokes one of Naruto's chakra points, completely shutting it down, pulling Naruto to the ground, and he's coughing up blood in pain. Naruto would pull himself back up even after Neji calls him a failure, continuing to strike and attack at him, with Neji saying learning something so hastily won't allow him to get any better in a fight. Naruto would wipe his face, remembering all the sweat and tears that Jiraiya had put into making him stronger, with him actually training Naruto like no one had done before, teaching him something special, something that most people would only teach their own kids. He had forgiven Jiraiya for having left him at the bathhouse. This was more than worth it. And Naruto was not going to lose here, not after his promise to Hinata. 8 trigrams, 64 palms, 32 palm, 64 palm. Naruto would be down as the count starts. But with all of his points being closed, his chakra network completely shut down, that's when the seal begins to leak into Naruto. As an energy begins to flow through Naruto, an orange chakra, Neji would be horrified by what he's seeing. What? I closed all of them. How is this possible? He should be collapsed and unconscious. Naruto's eyes would turn red, as a power would flow over his body, and everyone in the stands would see it. This is the power of the Nine Tails. A white aura would envelop Naruto's fist as he pulls it back, taking his stance. Making his fist into a palm, he'd say, "Neji, it's over!" With Naruto's enhanced speed and physical stats from the Nine Tails chakra, Neji would barely be able to start his rotation to defend against this next earthquake when Naruto basically teleports on top of Neji, floating through the air as he kicked off the ground, leaving an earthquake, as the stadium would start rumbling. Naruto would begin concentrating energy using a Hosoken-style technique in his left foot, concentrating his Gura-Gura power into it as a ball of seismic energy would appear. Tectonic Gakishin, translating to tectonic earthquake. Naruto would spin in the air, slicing down and making a huge reverberation directly on Neji. As he gets crunched into the ground, an earthquake shattering the ground beneath their feet, as the entire land of fire would experience a high degree of an earthquake, the ocean surrounding the continent beginning to shake. Neji is on the brink of death. His bones and flesh have vibrated with double the speed, with Naruto's Hoshoken multiplying the seismic energy of his Gura-Gura no Mi power. Neji is unconscious and can feel nothing. Nothing at all. His entire body just got a hyper massage from an earthquake. So it's a miracle he's alive, because I don't want Naruto to be a murderer in this one, so we're One Piecing it and not making him dead. Thank you, Oda, for giving me that option. But anyway, no, Neji's alive, but Naruto almost killed him, and everyone would be shocked. This kid defeated one of the legendary proprietors of the Hyuga technique, even showing off the technique of that Toad Sage, one of the Sannin. With the earthquake subsiding and Naruto losing access to the Nine Tails, Naruto would fall back to the ground with him feeling his own hands and limbs shaking from how much vibrations had been going through him. While the Nine Tails' power is leaking through, he becomes a Quake man, making him resistant to all vibrations and earthquakes, but not when he loses it. So now his left leg is shaking like he has some sort of elderly disease. Hinata have tears of joy as Naruto stumbles over to her, with him having a weak thumbs up saying that he did it. Neji will get picked up piece by piece, trying not to break any more of his bones, as he's taken away into hospital, unconscious, bleeding internally, and highly regretting his beef with Naruto. If you guys want to see the next part for What If Naruto had Delaford, make sure to slap the like button, comment down below what you thought of this part, and let me know down below what Delaford from One Piece would you want if you could bring it to our world. Anyway, thank you again so much, and have a good night, everybody. I'll see you next time. Dane!